Long ago, when spirits walked closer to humans, there lived a boy named Kofi. He lived in a small village at the edge of the savannah. The villagers said Kofi was a good child, but he feared everything. He feared the dark, loud voices. He even feared his own shadow at sunset. And because of this, the other children laughed at him. But the elders never laughed, for they knew Kofi was special. Sometimes the quietest child is the one the spirits are watching. Kofi went home to his grandmother, Nana Adoma, a wise elder with stories to tell by the fireplace. Tonight she spoke about the baobab of spirits, the place where courage lives, and the spirits walk among humans. The spirit is not cruel nor kind. It only tests those, and it watches you to see if you're ready, Kofi. Child, fear is not your enemy. It is a doorway, but only the brave can walk through it.
How can I be brave if my heart runs away before my feet?
Then you must go where courage lives, the baobab of spirits. Only there will your heart learn to walk beside fear, instead of running from it.
Kofi did not sleep that night. He stared at the ceiling, thinking of the ancient tree and the spirit that waited for those who dared. The fire flickered shadows across the walls, as if the baobab itself had come into the hut. Morning did not arrive gently that day. Before the sun climbed over the savannah, shouting filled the village.
The goats are gone! Who will enter the forest? No one dares!
Whoever enters and returns will be honored forever. Step forward if you are brave enough. Listen to me. Whoever enters the forest and returns with the animals will be honored before the entire village.
No hunter volunteered.
No warrior stepped forward.
For everyone knew what lived beyond those trees. But it seems courage is loud only in stories and quiet in real life. Kofi's legs trembled. His heart beat like a drum trapped in his chest. He looks at the forest, then down. In that moment, the boy understood. Courage does not shout. It whispers.
I will go.
And so the child who feared his own shadow was the only one who stepped toward the darkness. The forest stood like a wall of shadows. It did not welcome him and it did not warn him. It simply waited. Every step sounded too loud. Every branch looked like a hand. Even the wind seemed to whisper his name. The deeper he walks, the quieter it becomes. Then something strange happened. The forest grew silent. No insects, no birds, no wind. Only the sound of Kofi breathing. And in that silence, he felt it. He was no longer walking alone. Then the darkness opened, and before him stood the Ancient One, the baobab of spirits. Kofi stands before the baobab. The forest sounds slowly disappear. No insects, no wind. Only the faint hum of the glowing markings remains. The symbols on the bark pulse gently. Once, twice. Kofi tightens his grip on the lantern. The ground trembles softly beneath his feet. Roots shift like sleeping fingers awakening after centuries. As Kofi takes a cautious step forward, the glow grows brighter, reacting to his presence, not threatening him. A deep crack forms in the trunk, but it does not break. The wood bends like skin parting. Soft blue light spills outward. From within, a shape begins to step forward. Not a monster, not human, something in between. Branches lower, grass flattens, even the wind stops. The spirit studies Kofi, not hostile, but recognizing. Then speaks, voice layered like many ancestors.
At last, one who can see me.
You're real.
I have always been. You did not come here by chance, child of the first keeper. You will soon see. You carry a mark older than your name.
The spirit raises one glowing hand. The clearing shifts. The air ripples like water. The forest around them fades. They now stand inside a vision. The vision showed the first keeper. The one chosen to guard the balance between people
and the forest. He tried to keep the balance, but then came smoke, fear, and men who did not listen to the land, wanting power for themselves. He fought to defend the baobab with everything he got, but even courage can fall. The forest weakened, fear took over the villagers, and in the end he wasn't able to do it alone. Before his final breath, he gave the tree a promise. His hand burned with light as he touched the trunk. The baobab drank the vow. The bloodline would return.
See, my child, you are his blood. The courage you feel is not new. It is remembered. The forest weakens again, Kofi. What was once protected is now hunted. The animals you seek did not wander. They were taken. The balance has been disturbed.
Kofi understood what he must do now. A choice stands before him to guard what his ancestor once guarded and stand where he once stood. I vow to protect the baobab as my ancestor did once. I will try to restore balance and strengthen the forest once again.
Good, my child. This journey won't be easy, but always remember to have courage.
The guardian stepped back into the blue glow of the baobab. For now he will be tested. Surrounded by darkness, Kofi was no longer standing in protection. He was standing alone. Kofi will now have to face the 3 trials of the forest. First, he must overcome the trial of fear. Then he will be tested on wisdom, and finally the trial of sacrifice. The forest tightened around him. Even the wind seemed to retreat. Fear is loudest in the dark. From between the trees, 2 glowing eyes opened with a loud growl, like thunder. The goats bleated behind twisted roots, trapped and trembling. Every part of him wanted to run. His knees weakened and his hands shook. His breath came fast and shallow. The creature stepped forward, large enough to block the moonlight. Its shape shifted with shadow and smoke. This was not just a beast of claw and teeth. It was fear given form. The spirit's voice did not come. There would be no rescue, no shield, only choice.
I'm not leaving.
He stood there, trembling, trying to be fearless. Remembering his grandmother and the first keeper, he knew what he needs to do.
I can't be weak. I must be strong for my people. I must overcome fear as my ancestor once did.
Kofi's fear dwindled and the creature got weaker and weaker. Its shape flickered like smoke in wind. The creature dissolved into shadow, then into nothing. The goats bleated again, alive but not yet free. And in that moment, the boy who feared the dark learned that darkness fears the brave. The second trial speaks to wisdom. The darkness had vanished, but the forest was not yet healed, which means Kofi has to complete all the trials. Kofi saw the goats, wrapped with thick roots like living ropes. They were alive but still trapped. The more they pulled, the more the vines tightened. He pulled the roots to try and free the goats, but the vines only got tighter and tighter, while the goats cried louder. For even though fear has been faced, strength and courage alone will not free them.
A keeper does not fight the forest. A keeper listens.
I will listen.
Kofi froze, puzzled as to what this means. After trying everything he could, he closed his eyes. He stopped trying to force it. He slowed his breathing. Inhale. Exhale. The sounds began to return. Crickets, wind, leaves brushing against one another. The roots beneath his fingers were not rigid. They were trembling, not in anger, in pain. The forest was not attacking. It was wounded. Kofi placed his glowing hand gently on the root. He did not pull. He did not shout. He whispered.
I am not your enemy.
He touched it with his glowing hands. The twisted roots started to loosen slowly, as if deciding to trust him. The goats slipped free one by one. The wind moved gently again. The trees no longer felt tense. Wisdom is not louder than fear. It is quieter and far more powerful. Looking at his glowing hand, he knew that he did not conquer the forest. He understood it. The goats were free. The forest had softened. but balance was not yet restored. The spirit appeared again, but his form was less solid now, more mist than wood.
The forest was wounded long before tonight. Fear weakened it, anger scarred it, neglect drained it. To restore what was broken, something must be given.
Give what exactly?
The power you carry was borrowed from the tree. To heal it, you must return it.
Kofi looked at his glowing hands. He knew that without the power, he'd be ordinary again, and he wasn't ready. He had just discovered who he was. Now he might lose it. Courage faces fear. Wisdom understands. But sacrifice gives without promise of return.
If this is what it takes, then I will happily give it back to let the forest live. He was never chosen because of the mark. He was chosen because of the choice he would make. The wind returned. The faintest outline of the symbol shimmered beneath Kofi's skin. Not bright, not blazing, but present. For true power is not in what you hold. It is in what you are willing to release. The forest changed completely. What seemed to be destroyed now restored. Flowers bloomed, butterflies and animals roamed. Everything was back to normal, it seems. In that moment, the forest's beauty signifies that Kofi healed the forest and restored balance. Even though he knew he had given up his power, he was happy, celebrating because he understood what it means to overcome fear, seek wisdom, and truly sacrifice to save what he loves. And that was all the baobab tree needed. Someone with courage, understands the forest, and will always sacrifice for the greater good. The moonlight lit up the forest. Kofi started floating towards the tree. The blue light ignited his marks, for his power as the protector has returned.
Well done, my child. You have restored balance, and for that I am forever grateful. You are truly my blood.
The spirit that guided Kofi revealed himself as the first keeper. His name is Kofianu.
Kofi, you have learned the ways of the forest. As its keeper, you must now protect it with all your might, as you once did.
Through Kofi, the keeper's bloodline will live on. Protecting the baobab is his solemn duty, remembering to have no fear, seek wisdom, and sacrifice for the greater good. The sky brightened. The goats are free and the forest now healed. Kofi can now return to the village. The night had tested him, but the morning would reveal who he had become. He walked the narrow path from the forest, not as the boy who left, but as the keeper who returned. The village stirred awake, smoke rising gently, birds calling into the dawn. One by one, they saw him, and relief moved through them like sunlight. His grandmother stepped forward, searching his eyes, and in their silence, she understood. He did not speak of shadows. He did not speak of fear. Some battles are sacred and need no applause.
You have done it, my boy. And for that, the village is truly grateful and forever in your debt. You are the keeper of the forest.
For courage may be borrowed, wisdom may be learned, but sacrifice, that is chosen. And so the boy returned home, but the keeper had just begun.